The topic I am going to discuss here is culture and the production and reproduction of inequality. We know that inequality is a reality. Whatever be the nature of the society we are living in, whether it is capitalist or so-called working class, uh, you know, the government of the people, by the people, democratic governments, welfare state, or whatever be the form of government, monarchy, inequality is a reality. So, how different theories in sociology and other related fields view inequality, the presence of inequality, and how the culture we are living in a way, enhances the unequal distribution of wealth. There are various theories, and all those theories can be generally classified into under four heads. The studies on the cultural manifestations of inequality generally focus on the key variables of class, ethnicity, gender, and age. These are the four titles under which we can talk about the manifestations of inequality. So, how class system, the present class system we are living in, enhances inequality. There are various theories. One classical theory is, of course, a Marxian analysis of class structure, the bourgeois class and the proletariat class. Then there are the concept of Max Weber, or related to status, and in Center for Contemporary Culture Studies, Hogarth and Thompson. They were very much concerned with the shaping characteristics and development of working class culture, and they have come out with various observations. And there are some I will be talking about some of the views present in sociology. One is the culture of poverty thesis by Oscar Lewis in the 1950s and 60s. He analyzed how poverty seemed to reproduce itself across generations, how poor people appeared to produce more poor people. Lewis proposed that the poor have a distinctive subcultural lifestyle, which, like any culture, is a design for living that provides a structure and rationale, enabling the poor to go on with their lives. He talks about 70 traits that characterize the culture of poverty. So we know that normally what happens is that those who are living in poor, their next generation people also will be living in the same kind of conditions, and this go on and go on. Rich people are becoming more rich, poor people they turned out to be more poor. So what are the reasons why they remain so? So one Oscar Lewis says that there is a culture, there is a way of life that enables this. So he talks about some traits, and I will be talking about some of the traits here. The poor are not integrated into the major institutions of the society and remain fearful of them. So whenever there is a situation where the poor are in the receiving end, the society will never support them, and the poor people are not integrated into the major institutions of the society. And there is a low level of community organization or identification with the place in slum neighborhoods. Then families display the following features: absence of a lengthy childhood phase of the life cycle, early initiation into sex, free unions or consensual marriages, high incidence of abandoned wives and children, females under households, predisposition to authoritarianism and frequent use of violence as a way of resolving conflict, competition for household maternal affection, sibling rivalry. So these are some of the observations. For example, a family, they are living in a very poor condition. Automatically, it's quite natural, or it's quite we can guess that they'll not have much money for educating their children, so they'll not be getting much education, and these children will be going for work in the early childhood itself. But that will not improve their condition because they'll not be getting much good job because they don't have the education, and they'll get married early, and same condition repeat. So this is uh, one idea, that the cycle of deprivation popularized by Sir Keith Joseph. They say that this is a cycle, it repeats from one generation to the other. They are born in poverty, so they'll not be getting money for their development, for education, or any other thing, for housing or anything. So they'll have a low level of human capital, and this go on low savings, and this repeats. This is the way Sir Keith Joseph theorized about it. However, there are criticism against these kinds of observations, because these are all in a way kind of methods of blaming the poor for their condition. Because of their lifestyle, they are facing this issue. That is the way in which they are talking about. So another view is the new right theorist Charles Murray. He is talking about it in purely cultural terms. He focuses on the significance of illegitimacy, marital breakdown, inadequate patterns of childbearing, and criminality among the poor. So these are some of the observations by certain thinkers, which are all class based inequality. Because of their poor economic status, they are facing the problems. So that is one way in which we can analyze inequality. The second one is race and ethnicity. The very talk of race is very difficult or very dubious in cultural studies. Race is a dubious or spurious term, and the use of the term is very problematic. Whether there is anything called race, or, but however, we have in society a kind of a prejudice, a racial prejudice, and institutional racism are issues which we face in the current world. We know now various problems are there in the society, and the processions, and like Black Lives Matter, such kinds of problems. However, race has been an issue of analysis in Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies for long. The seven members of the center published The Empire Strikes Back in 1982, which sets out to analyze race and racism during the 1970s from a vantage committed to black resistance. They suggest that the prominence of race as an issue in the 1970s is connected to the decline of Britain's position as a major trading nation. It is in this context of these changes that immigration policies, ethnic basis of competition in housing and labor markets, etc., must be set. So there are so many theories other than this. Say Edward B. Said, his very prominent work, Orientalism, or Gayatri Spivak's, Kansas Barton speak, or Fanon, Franz Fanon, how they analyzed. However, we know that they theorized about in 1970s. Even in 2020, things are not better. The same kind of situations and the same kind of issues are still relevant. So race and ethnic based discrimination and inequality, especially in the case of India and all that, we know that caste based issues, these are all still very serious issues. And another way in which we can analyze inequality is on the basis of gender. Gender discrimination is an inherent feature of Western society, not only Western, even in Indian. Or women were given domestic duties, thus creating a hierarchy in which men are treated superior. However, it would be wrong to assume universal patterns of superiority and inferiority, as it may differ from culture to culture. Though we say that we are all living in the patriarchal society and all that, we cannot say that everything is a universal kind of thing. There are societies in which female matriarchs have been given prominence and all that. The views of many thinkers such as Afra Ben, Mary Wollstonecraft, Catherine Macaulay are significant to understand various debates on this. Hegemonic masculinity is a term related to it, the ideal form of being a man, a configuration of courage, physical strength, and toughness. We know that in films and all that, the masculine figure. We have in society this feeling that, for example, if you see a man crying, that will be treated as very bad. Men should not cry. That is the way we see. So a man should be an embodiment of physical strength, whereas women are not. Women are supposed to be weak. This is the way in which society treats. And there is this view called a toxic masculinity, aspects of hegemonic masculinity that are socially destructive, such as misogyny, homophobia, greed, and violent domination. So these are all some of the issues when which we use even to analyze films and such kinds of things which actually exist in our society. Another area where we can talk about inequality is age. We will have this doubt how age uh, can be considered. Age and aging are considered natural processes, but what seem natural need not be really so. Culture naturalizes age. Age is a cultural construct symbolically located in a biological metaphor. Age has different meanings among different peoples, not only for the individual but for all those with whom the individual is associated. A change of status for an individual involves others in new roles and relationships. Those who believe in reincarnation and or the resurrection of the spirit, and those think death is the end of being. All these are age specific. How we treat people is also linked to age, marriageable age, age to have sexual relations, age restrictions for employment and retirement, and so on, though it differs from culture to culture. So, age is significant. We know that people will be given certain kind of positions or certain kinds of recognitions based on their age, and duties and everything is connected with age. So, age is also a significant factor in analyzing inequality. There are also certain expectations from society on how a person belonging to an age group behaves, what is normal ways of behavior. Societies which are highly ritualized transition to new status is based on age. We know that certain traditional positions will be given, for example, marriage, age, or whatever related to rituals. We have certain status given to people based on age. So we can say that inequality can be analyzed based on four major heads. One is class, then race and ethnicity, gender, and uh, age group. Okay.